Hello, welcome to my English learning video. In this video, we will talk about English grammar. Precisely, we will talk about perfect English grammar. Before we continue, let's see the content of this video. The first, we will talk about present perfect tense, and the second, we will talk about present perfect continuous tense. The third, we will talk about past tense tenses, precisely past perfect tense, and the fourth, past perfect continuous tense. And then we will talk about future tense family, precisely future perfect tense, and the last is future perfect continuous tense. Okay, the first time, let's see the general form of that tenses. The first we will see about the present tense family, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Let's see the general form. For present perfect, the general form is subject plus have or has and plus verb 3 or past participle. For the present perfect continuous, the general form is subject plus have or has plus been and plus verb in or present participle. The second group is past tense family. For a past perfect tense, the general form is subject plus had plus verb 3, and for past perfect continuous, the general form is subject plus had plus been plus verb in. The difference both the first family and the second family is, for the present tense family we use have or has, but for the past tense family we use had. And the third, for the future tense family, we'll talk about future perfect and future perfect continuous. For the future perfect tense, the general form is subject plus will plus have plus verb 3. And for the future perfect continuous, the general form is subject plus will plus have plus been and plus verb in. Okay, this is the general form for the six tenses that I will talk in this video. Let's check the next material. Okay, let's continue our material about these tenses. The first we will talk about present perfect tense. As I said before, the form of these tenses is subject plus have or has plus verb 3, and the function of these tenses is to express an action in the past and the result still give effect until this time. Okay, that is the function of these tenses. And the adverb for these tenses usually for, since, today, recently, lately, just, now, yet, so far. There are many specific function of these tenses, like to express an action started in the past and continuing in the present. Yeah, this is like a general function of these tenses. And the example sentence: I have lived in Bali since 2006, and now I still live in Bali. Next, to express an action performed during a period that has not yet finished. The example: I have drank some medicine through this day, and the day isn't over yet. And the third, a repeated action in an unspecified period between the past and now. For example, we have visited Denpasar several times. Therefore, to express an action completed in the very recent past. So for this function, we add word just. For example, I have just finished my homework. And the fifth, to express an action when the precise time of the action is not important or not known. For example, he has read War and Peace. The result of his reading is important, but the precise time is not important. And the next example, in positive sentence, I have lived in Bali since 2005. And for the negative sentence, we just add a not behind the have. So the sentence be I haven't lived in Bali since 2005. And for the question sentence, interrogative sentence, we just change the position. Have you lived in Bali since 2005? And the else example is I have been here for 1 hour. We're using been because in this sentence doesn't have a verb. For the negative sentence, I haven't been here for 1 hour. And the interrogative sentence, haven't you been here for 1 hour? Okay, this is about the present perfect tense. Let's continue to the next tenses. The second is present perfect continuous tense. The general form of it is subject plus have or has. We add been and plus verb ing or present participle. The general function is action, to express an action that started in the past and continue in the present. Okay. The adverb in this tenses is for, since, today, recently, lately, just now, yet, so far, and etc. This is like present perfect. The specific function of these tenses is to express an action that started in the past and continue in the present. This is seem like a general function. Okay, the example sentence is she has been waiting for you all day. She has been waiting is still continue, still continue in the present. And the next example is the teacher has been teaching for 2 hours. The teacher has been teaching, still in process. Okay. The second specific function is to express an action that have just finished, but we are interested in the result. For example, it's been raining. It's been raining. In this time, the raining has stopped, but the streets are still wet. Another example for positive sentence, the teacher has been teaching for 2 hours. Has been teaching, still teaching for 2 hours. The negative, the teacher hasn't been teaching for 2 hours. And for interrogative sentence, has the teacher been teaching for 2 hours? Okay, that's all about the present perfect continuous tense. We continue to past perfect tense. The general form for past perfect tense is subject plus had and plus verb 3. Yeah. And the function is to express an event happen before another in the past. Okay, the function is to express one event happen before another event in the past. So in this tenses there are 2 events. The adverb in this tense is usually when, before, after, as soon as, just, already, by 5 o'clock. Okay. For the example, the train has just left when I arrived at station. So when I arrived at station, the train just left. The second example is the teacher had been in the class when I arrived at classroom. The third example is the class has finished when I arrived at school. So the class has finished is the first event and I arrived at school is the second event. So the class finished when I arrived at school. The negative sentence is the classroom hadn't finished when I arrived at school. The interrogative, had classroom finished when I arrived at school. Okay, next we will talk about the past perfect continuous tense. The general form of this tense is subject plus had plus been plus verb ing. The general function is to express two events happened in the past and the first event still running when the second event occurs. This seems like past perfect. There are two events, but the difference of these tenses is the first event still running. It is different with past perfect. Past perfect, the first event has stopped when the second event happened. Okay, let's see the adverb. The adverb when, for, since, and before. For example, the teacher had been teaching for 10 minutes when I arrived at classroom. Okay, so when I arrived at classroom, the teacher has been doing teach. The teacher had been teaching in classroom. The negative sentence is the teacher hadn't been teaching for 10 minutes when I arrived at classroom. The interrogative sentence, had the teacher been teaching for 10 minutes when I arrived at classroom? Another example is I had been eating breakfast when she came to my home. Okay, when she came to my home, I had been teaching. I have been waiting. Sorry, I've been waiting. And the last example is Martha had been walking 3 miles a day before she broke her leg. The first event is Martha had been walking 3 miles a day, and the second event is she broke her leg. Okay, this is about a past perfect continuous tense. Now let's go to future tenses. Now we talk about the future perfect tense. The general form is subject plus will plus have plus been and verb 3, and the function of this tense is to express the future perfect. The general form for this tenses is subject plus will plus have plus been plus verb 3, and the function the future perfect refer to a completed action in the future. This tenses is refer to a completed action in the future. Yeah. So we talk about the event in the future. The adverb in these tenses usually a specific time in the future, like 8 o'clock next week after the class, and at noon. Let's see the example. The first, the teacher will have finished class at noon. Yeah. This is the event or the action in the future. Okay. And the negative example is the teacher won't have finished class at noon. For interrogative sentence, will the teacher have finished class at noon? Okay, another example is the children will have slept when they arrive home. So we predict the children will have slept when their parent arrive home. Okay. This is the future perfect tense, and let's to our last tenses. Last tenses is future perfect continuous tense. The general form of it is subject plus will plus have plus been and plus verb ing. This tenses is refer to event or action in the time between now and some future time that may be unfinished. So it's refer to event or action in the time between now and some future time that may be unfinished. Let's see the adverb. Usually we use before, after, as soon as, just, or already. For example, will have I will have been teaching when you come to my office. Okay. Won't have been teaching. I won't have been teaching when you come to my office. Will I have been teaching when you come to my office? I will have been teaching when you come to my office. So we will predict I still teaching when you come to my office. Okay, that's our prediction about the event. Okay, and another example is I will have been waiting here for 3 hours by 6 o'clock. Okay, that's all about material in this video. Okay, we talk about 6 perfect tense in present tense family, past family, and in the future family. And I hope this video can help you to understand about the English grammar. And thank you very much for watching my video. And let's improve your English skill by practicing every time and everywhere. Thank you. Bye. Let's see more comment.